Shatavadhani Ganesh, but don't take more than 4 or 5 minutes. Whatever points have been omitted so far, because you have already contributed valuably to the discussion through your welcome interceptions. So please come and address us. Ganesh ji.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar to everyone. It's my privilege to share a few points. Of course, Dr. Tripathi ji would have already told or will be on the way of telling it. Just to recapitulate few things, because it started mentioning about Vedāntadeśika, and Tripathi ji specifically told me to connect something with Vedāntadeśika and others of South Indian polemics. We know from the days of Bhagavan Rāmānuja, in his Sri Bhashya, we have in the beginning itself Laghu Purva Paksha and Mahapurva Paksha, like that. He starts refuting Advaita and he attempts, and there he tries to show there are 7 anupapattis, follies, as the things which have no water, no reason, and start enlisting them: Ashrayanupapatti, Tirodhananupapatti, Swarupanupapatti, Anirvachaniyata-anupapatti, Pramana-anupapatti, Nivartaka-anupapatti, and Nivartyanupapatti. And these are the allegations leveled against Maya and Avidya. And the same point, 7 points, were further elaborated into 66 in the Śatadūṣaṇī of Vedāntadeśika. And we have a long tradition of logicians and debaters in the Vishishtadvaitic tradition of Rāmānuja, Ātraya Rāmānuja, who wrote Nyaya Kulsha, and Meghanādhara Suri, Snairyumani, and of course Vedāntadeśika's Nyaya Siddhanjana, Nyaya Parishuddhi, Pancharatra Raksha, and Tattvamukta Kalapa. Incidentally, Tattvamukta Kalapa is completely composed in Śraddha meter, and people may be interested to know that in the whole history of Sanskrit literature, recorded history, it is only Vedāntadeśika who wrote maximum number of Śraddha meters, both in Kavya and Shastra. Tattvamukta Kalapa is completely written in Śraddha meter. He says Śraddha Dugdadara, and it's a terse meter. In that terse meter, trying to compose a Shastric treatise is very unique, and he has composed more than 2000 Śraddha meter verses. And later, the same Śatadūṣaṇī 66 points were further elaborated by scholars from the Dvaita school like Jaitirtha, and then Vyasatirtha in his Nyayamrita, and so further elaborated to 100 and more. And from the Advaitic side, we have Śatadūṣaṇī of a 20th century great scholar by name Anantakrishna Shastri Mahamopadhyaya. He wrote like that. The debate went on, and the dimension it took in Vishishtadvaita, and Dvaita continued the debate with Advaita, and we had a great legacy of Nyayamrita, authored by the great scholar of Vijayanagar period, Vyasatirtha. And in Nyayamrita, what all the allegations leveled against Advaita were challenged by Madhusūdana Sarasvatī, the well-known scholar and logician from Varanasi, who basically hailed from Bengal. And then we have a long tradition of Advaita and Dvaita fighting based on these two great treatises. Even today, they are going on. Even in this very city where I live, Bangalore, we have a lot of such debates even today going on regarding Advaita Siddhi and Nyayamrita. Advaita Siddhi, Guru Chandrika, Laghu Chandrika, Vitaleshi, like that is tradition in Advaita. Nyayamrita, Tarangini, Amoda, Kantakodhara, like that. Ultimately, they have a very unique approach by one scholar of 18th century by name Ayyanda Dikshita in his Vyasa Tatparya Nirnaya. There, he tries to know what are the Purva Pakshas which are considered by different philosophers apart from the Vedantins. How Vedanta is being treated by Jains, Buddhists, Nayayikas, Sankhyas, Yogis, and others. By virtue of taking their Purva Paksha, trying to construct the Siddhanta of Advaita. That is how a very unique step has been taken. And we have many scholars even today debating on such things. For example, all the 7 Upapattis of Rāmānuja, they are crystallized around the concept that space and time are absolute. Based on the absolute nature of space and time, that means he has taken space and time as absolute. And that's how the Dvaitic and Vishištadvaitic and all non-Advaitic schools approach, whether it is Achintya Bheda or Shuddhadvaita or the other systems of Vallabha, Nimbarka and others. All those, they try to take space and time as an absolute entity, while taking space and time as relative, as in the case of modern physics from Heisenberg, Schrödinger, Einstein, and others. We have James Jeans, Eddington, like that. We have a long succession of physicists from the Western world. They take space and time as related to each other, and they are fictitious in their intrinsic nature. From that perspective, almost all the Anupapattis leveled against Maya can be answered. This is a very interesting thing. Not much has been done in our traditional circle. And also, in the traditional Advaitic tradition, Advaitic lore, they have a newer approach. For example, the approach of Shatavadhani Sarasvatī of 20th century, who hails from Karnataka. He says there is nothing like Moola Vidya. The traditional Advaitic scholarly world, it believes in Moola Vidya. But he challenges that Moola Vidya itself, and it is based on the writings of his mentor by name Krishnaswamy Iyer. That book is called Vedānta, the Science of Reality. And Sachidananda Saraswati writes Vedānta Prakriya Pratyabhijñā, and then Shuddha Shankara Prakriya Bhaskara. Many works, more than 200 works have been written in Sanskrit, English, and Kannada by him. Like that, this is how the Vedantic Vada is going on. And the reflection of Vada tradition can be seen in so many other aspects, whether it is in discussing the meaning of a verse. Just as one example, I'm saying, a verse from 10th century Kannada classical poet Pampa, the available first poet in Kannada, whole work of him is available. In Pampa's Vikramarjuna Vijaya, a long poem based on Mahabharata, one verse has been debated by more than 38 scholars in the early part of 20th century. What is the exact meaning of that? Ultimately, it is one scholar from South Kendra, a coastal state of Karnataka, by name Sediyapu Krishna Bhatta. He decoded that based on the inspiration from Amaruka Shapata. It means more than 38 scholars they debated, and a very big volume has appeared recently as compilation of all the debates. And they call out evidences from Tamil, Telugu, Sanskrit, Prakrit, and many such literatures. This is how the tradition of Vada, growing as Samvada, it has been seen, and it will be very interesting for the scholars of the rest of the world to look into these aspects. It's just Snehacha Bahumanacha Smaraye Natu Shikshaye. I'm very happy for getting this opportunity. Once again, thanking you, sir. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Ganesh ji. You have opened a storehouse of informations and some vital issues of the Vadas in the tradition that also you have discussed. I extend hearty welcome to Professor Srinivas Varkhedi, who has